You know, guys, when the Season 3 roadmap came out and all of the news sources were talking about everything that's coming in Season 3 and what to expect and all of that, there was one very interesting tweet that I found that I chose not to talk about and I wanted to save it until today, the day before Season 3 comes out. I'm not gonna have a video the day Season 3 comes out, but most likely the day after. So before it comes out, I wanted to put out today's video because it's essentially the situation we find ourselves in every single time something new happens in Call of Duty. Whether it's the launch of the game or before the next season, all of these news sources, every single time, and I'm not kidding when I say this, every single time, they say the exact same thing. Oh, the devs are listening to us. I'm so excited for the changes. The developers are finally listening to us. You see, me specifically, the Scatmaster, I have a very big problem with news sources and all of these big platforms saying this kind of stuff, because not only do they say it all the goddamn time, but all the goddamn time, it's wrong, because days later the season comes out or the launch of the game comes out and there's a whole long list of problems and issues and people are not enjoying it. And what usually happens, and this is the thing that really pisses me off, is because these big platforms want you guys to have something to look forward to, a lot of people unfortunately are baited into playing the game or buying the game. Well, the exact same thing is true today, guys, and I'm only saying this for Season 3 because I noticed that nobody said this for Season 1 or 2, but now all of a sudden, now that Activision and Infinity Ward surprisingly want to start doing things all of a sudden, I wonder why. Now all of a sudden people want to come out here and start spewing this bullshit again. Well, today's culprit, and this comes as no surprise to a lot of us, CHARLIEINTEL a few days ago when the roadmap came out, tweeted out, there is a lot of positive changes coming with Season 3. We just had a call with the Call of Duty developers to talk all things Season 3. Stay tuned for additional info on April 12th. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I saw quite a lot of people roasting CHARLIEINTEL in the comments and replies of this, and it's simply because people aren't so easily fooled by this. And I'm not kidding when I say this, a lot of people had a lot of things to say to CHARLIEINTEL because of this tweet, and he didn't really respond to anybody other than this guy over here who says, being told positive changes are coming 50 times does not make anything positive. And non-surprisingly, CHARLIEINTEL replies with, check back April 12th and then decide. Kind of reinforcing this whole thought of, oh, the devs are actually listening, you guys give it a chance, give it a shot. And like I just got done saying, people are just not falling for this bullshit again. But the reason I'm making today's video is because there are still some people who feel this way. There's still some people who the very first thing you see positive about this next season, their automatic assumption is, wow, the developers finally listened. Wow, Activision isn't so shitty anymore. Wow, I should really give this game a chance. It seems like they fixed it. It finally feels complete. Every single large platform has the exact same bullshit to say. I'm pretty sure last year, Modern Warzone said something along the lines of, Vanguard is the best COD since Black Ops 2 or some shit like that. Guys, this time around, I hope everybody has learned their lesson. Just don't take this shit the way that they're putting it out to you. And speaking of Modern Warzone, he actually had something sort of similar in the same vein as this. And this one actually came out today, the time that I'm recording this. He says, Season 3 of Warzone is a major step forward, but I still believe that Season 4 is when the game will finally begin to reach its peak. Excited to drop in on Wednesday and get to try all the new changes for myself. And while this one doesn't necessarily scream gooch liquor as much as CHARLIEINTEL's tweet, I still have to say the exact same thing here. Putting out a tweet like this, it's kind of dangerous because you're essentially getting a lot of people on board to get excited or at least to be hopeful and looking forward to the next season. And as the next season drops, just like with every single other season, there's a massive boost in the player base. This is just the natural cause and effect of a seasonal update. And the dangerous thing about this is, whenever there's this massive boost in the player base, Activision and Infinity Ward see this as a massive success. And while I would say it's good that the player base is going up for a little bit at least, it's also not the right way to think about it. There shouldn't be a massive boost in the player base to begin with. If there's a boost, that means something fell off sometime prior. And the reason things have been falling off prior to each season is because not only is the season boring after a couple of weeks, and that's just a seasonal content thing, you guys know exactly how I feel about that, but because the game is in such a down bad state and it constantly needs fixing, and there's so many people providing feedback, and Infinity Ward and the developers don't do shit about it until it's too late, until all of a sudden it's season 3. And now it's time to fix things, and now, as the cycle goes on, CHARLIEINTEL, Modern Warzone, and all of these other bigger platforms have positive things to say to look forward to, without having actually played it. So the same way that gooch lickers want to attack me and say, oh, the new season isn't even out yet, how are you ranting? It's the exact same thing here. If the next season hasn't come out yet, how can you possibly have positive things to say about it? And I would understand if you're somebody who playtested some things early, like Phase Dirty, but what CHARLIEINTEL is saying is that he was in a call with the developers, and I've heard that way too many times as well. It's the exact same shit that they said before this game even launched. And then this game proceeded to have one of the worst launches in Call of Duty history. And so the biggest picture that I want to paint out for you guys is that even though these people are describing this next season as, oh, the developers are listening, they finally fixed everything, still go into it expecting the worst, okay? And that's the only mentality that I can tell you guys to look forward to, actually, because I can almost guarantee you, and this isn't me being the whole glass half empty type of person, this is me trying to be realistic. Every time the new season comes out, there's a long list of problems and bugs and issues that come out, a lot of expectations are set, and a lot of people with large platforms only have good things to say, and when you go into it, if you don't enjoy it, all of a sudden you're public enemy number 1, and you're just hating and ranting for views, or because it's the cool thing to do, or that it's trendy. And people fail to realize that we've had this exact same cycle time and time again, and for whatever reason, whenever these tweets come out every single time, a lot of people somehow still fall for it. I will say this time it's a little different because I saw a lot of people roasting CHARLIEINTEL and Doug Dimmadome Warzone for this, and that should just speak to the state of the community right now. A lot of people are fed up with the same bullshit. A lot of people are fed up with the same bullshit time and time again. And that's just the first half of it, guys. There's a whole other bigger issue to this. Now, I'm gonna say something, and I know a lot of people are gonna have a problem with me saying this because I've said it multiple times since the Season 3 roadmap came out a few days ago. And I am fully conscious and aware that I am saying the same thing that I've said before. It should not have taken them this long to finally start listening to feedback, and to take the community seriously, and to make changes that we've been asking for since before launch. And I swear to God, I see this every single video. If you're a gooch licker who's gonna say, oh, you say the same thing every video, let me ask you something. It's kind of tiring to hear it, right? To hear the same thing said by the same person? We can agree on that, right? Okay, well, let's use your logic and let's apply it to what we're seeing with these big platforms talking about, oh, we're so excited to see the developers change and listen to the feedback from the community. Just like you, I hear the same shit every single fucking time. The same way that I'm consistent about how I say the same shit, but I still feel the exact same way, like I don't change my mind on things. It's the same way with the developers. They say they fix things and they say they're listening, and then they proceed to give us a whole pile of dog shit. Consistently, 10 out of 10 times, just like the Scad Master, 10 out of 10 times. And you might see that as like winning an argument against the Scad Master, which I promise you is probably impossible for a fucking gooch licker, but the point still stands. Why the hell are we waiting 6 months for people to start finally tweeting out, oh, the devs are listening? Why couldn't they have tweeted that out immediately after the beta, before launch? And then we wouldn't have to hear the phrase ever again, the devs are finally listening, because if anybody's saying they're finally listening, that implies that before, they weren't fucking listening. Let me just tell you one thing. When you load up Season 3, and I know a lot of you guys want to play Season 3, you just want to see if things have actually improved. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to ridicule you for that. But if you see something wrong with Season 3, and I can almost guarantee you that you will, speak up about it. Tweet at Infinity Ward or Activision or Raven Software that, hey, this bug exists now that Season 3 came out. Or ever since Season 3 came out, I can't party up with my friends, or the servers are complete dog shit now that Season 3 finished downloading. Or maybe you finally realize that, hey, I bought this $30 Blackcell Battle Pass bullshit, and I don't actually think it's that good. Or maybe you'll say something like, hey, I try to recruit my friend, and I'm not very satisfied with this fucking sticker that I got as a reward for doing that. Whatever the problem is, you should speak up and give your feedback for it. Trust me when I say, it doesn't feel all that good always being right about the things that you say and claim about the game that you're supposed to love. I love Call of Duty, but every single time there's some new shit going on, it doesn't turn out very good. And that's just the pattern that we've been on since MW 2019. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Before Season 3 actually comes out, do you believe that the developers are finally listening to the community and that it's actually gonna revive this game? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.
It's been a very long time since the weekend. It's been a very long time and I'm weak. It's been a very long time since you seen me. Don't know why.